I'm a weird guy. On the eve of games like Tears of the Kingdom, what game am I most excited about? Waterworld with anime babes. Now I realize I need to get my priorities in check, but you know, if I'm spouting about this game, I've got to review it, right? And it is a bit late, this came out last week, but here are my thoughts on Buccanyar. Or Buccanyar. Or Buccanyar. I don't know how to say it, but I like that last one. Buccanyar. Before we get into it, you might want to check out my other channel, A Bit More Jordan for a Lot More Me. I do long retrospectives on classic video games, especially RPGs, but you know, other stuff as well. I think you'll like it. I do. Okay, I should start off this video by saying, on the Switch, this is not released in the West, not even digitally. This is only available on the Japanese eShop, but it does have English, so not to worry. There is a physical version as well, which I'll talk about more later on. If you're wondering why it hasn't released digitally in the West, even though there's English, well, the English is absolutely awful. There's an art to this kind of gibberish, so I'm not even sure what to say about the story aside from the premise. Have you ever seen the movie Waterworld with Mel Gibson? Or Kevin Costner? Or Christian Slater? I don't know, they're the same person, right? Well, it's a dumpster fire of a wonderful movie about how there's no land and everyone lives in a boat. This is Buccanyar. It's Mad Max with sloops. Okay, there is land here, but not too much of it. It's more like Pirates of the Caribbean with anime girls. That sounds even better though, right? So, 3 girls were abandoned by their father when they were young, only to be told to meet him at a certain place, at a certain time, 6 years in the future. When they turn up, no one is there. What a great dad he is. And considering these 3 girls are seemingly only half related because they don't look the same, they all have different family names, this guy is a bit of a player. But regardless, he sends a cat in his stead with a letter to make the girls go to 3 points on a map that's given to them. Maybe they can find the answer to everything. If you could actually understand the nonsense that is being spouted. None of the dialogue makes any ounce of sense, and I love it. Because let's face it, the story would be more boring if the English was good. You ain't getting Shakespeare in anime Waterworld. That's a fact, okay? So, rather strangely, the game is better for the fact that the English is terrible rather than good. It's a genius move to let your 10-year-old kid, who takes remedial English classes on a weekend, translate your game. You pretty much explore the seas, get into ship-on-ship battles, or fight monstrous sea creatures that came about after the calamitous events that sunk most of the land. You'll also be spending time upgrading your ship, customizing it, and hiring crew members to make you the fiercest, cutest warship on the high seas. So the story doesn't make a lick of sense in the line-to-line dialogue, but you'll know the general gist of the story. I mean, you're not playing like a Legend of Heroes game here. This world is weird, okay? These 3 girls pilot a ship in search of their dad, but the majority of the crew are made up of anthropomorphic cats. So sailing island to island with a bunch of human-like cats. Someone's been playing Suikoden 4. The poor bugger. As you sail between your destination, it's likely you'll bump into pirates or raging monsters, and the boat combat is where you'll be spending most of your time in the game. It is quite simple to move your ship around. They didn't make it needlessly complicated, so in that regard, it's more like an arcadey style game, which I appreciate, and you can just charge at the enemy and hope to get the best of them. Your ship has different gun setups that you can switch between on the fly, and there's a lot of customization. For example, you can have a setup that's dedicated to taking out aircrafts, or one that's dedicated to long-range attacks. These cannons are all crewed by the cats, which you have to hire and then assign to different guns or different responsibilities on the ship. Like you can have zombie aircraft pilots to help support you from the air. It's just really, really fun. And even though I was hyped about this game, I'm almost shocked at how much I actually enjoyed it. There's often like a tinge of tongue-in-cheekness when I get excited about these sort of games, but it is actually good. Customizing your ship in the docks, great. Having different loadouts for different situations, and you can kit out your ship really nicely. Different facets of it, from the color to the type of sails, cannons, emblems, and even if you're not into micromanaging this sort of thing, you can just auto-select everything if you want. There's obviously a main quest to be getting on with because, you know, your dad's waiting around for you, but you'll also want to take on the sub-quest to gain more gold and rescue extra cats for your crew, which once you've upgraded to a new ship for the first time, you'll be begging for more cats to add to your party. Sadly, there's no walking around exploration. Aside from the ship-to-ship battles, everything is menu-based, which is a shame. I think the icing on the cake for, you know, to make this game brilliant would be able to walk around places and explore, but it's not the case here. In that regard, it's a fairly easy game to pick up and play, even with the awful English. You'll never be lost for what to do. You're easily guided to a potential destination to be getting on with blowing pirates to smithereens, or giant krakens, it's up to you. Now this is available digitally, but currently only on the Japanese eShop. As I said, not sure if it's going to get a Western digital release because, you know, that English may be considered a bit of an issue to someone out there. Either way, the price on the Japanese eShop is 7,500 yen. Which currently is around 55 US dollars and 45 pounds sterling. That is quite pricey, but you know, this anime stuff always is. But it's not as though you're paying for a premium localization service. Someone up top is pocketing the profits while giving their translator kid a Snickers bar. Easy money for them. But hey, I've had a lot of fun with it, even if it probably could have done with being like 20 bucks cheaper. But there is also a physical version available, and that physical version comes in English, and that's much better value considering, you know, you can keep it forever, or you can sell it on once you've finished blasting holes in sea monsters. If you want to pick it up physically, consider using the links in the description and the pinned comment. If you click our link and buy something, you also help SwitchWatch at the same time, and I really do thank you kindly. In return for clicking our link, we can also support you with 5% off if you use the code SWTV23 when checking out. Now that code is good until June, but if you're watching this in the future, make sure you subscribe and check out the latest Let's Get Physical video every Monday for the latest code updates. We will get a new one eventually. Or if you need some Japanese eShop credit to buy it digitally, you'll find that down there below too, but sadly you can't use a discount on that. It's only for physical products, and if you're downloading it, it'll be like 3 gigabytes of data. As I said, it's probably a bit too expensive overall, even though I really did quite enjoy it a lot. But they can't release this in the West at that price with this translation. There'd be riots. Aside from that though, the presentation is fairly alright. The character artwork is great. I like the backgrounds, and the ship combat looks nice. I mean, the water, oh, you could just drink it and then puke from all that salt. There are moments of slowdown when things get really hectic, usually when there's a big monster and you have ship allies around you, but it's not much of a big deal, I would say. There's voice acting in Japanese, that's good, and the music, really suitable. You really feel like you're in a happy-go-lucky booty-searching adventure. Overall, look, I'm not going to go overboard because, you know, I am a bit weird when it comes to this stuff. Is this a great game? Hell no. But to me, yes. But for the sake of this review, I'm going to go with what I think the average gamer would think this game is, and, you know, taking into account the price and the overall gameplay elements, you know, it's a solid 7 out of 10. Personally, I'd probably give it an 8, but I'm a weirdo. Alright, many thanks for watching this video. If you watched all the way through, well then you're a much cultured person like myself, and I want to know who you are. Leave me a pirate emoji in the comments so I can see you. And if you want more stuff that I probably like more than other people, check out these videos. Or you can check out my other channel, A Bit More Jordan, for a hell of a lot more me. Yeah, I'll see you over there, because you will want to go there. Yes, I'm using my Jedi mind trick on you. Go over there.